Have you ever stood outside on a clear night and just looked up? Not checked your phone, not thought about tomorrow, just looked. There's something in that moment, something ancient that pulls at you, a feeling that's impossible to name but impossible to ignore. It whispers, there's more. There is so much more out there. And somewhere deep in our DNA, humanity has always known it. This isn't a modern obsession. Long before Elon Musk, long before NASA, long before rockets even existed, humans were dreaming about leaving the ground. The ancient Greeks built stories around it. Icarus flew too close to the sun, not because it was smart, because he couldn't help himself. Leonardo da Vinci spent decades sketching flying machines in the 1480s, 3 centuries before the first airplane. Why? He'd never lived to see it work, but he drew anyway, because the dream was bigger than the man. In 1903, two bicycle mechanics in Ohio finally cracked powered flight. 23 years later, Robert Goddard shot a liquid-fueled rocket 41 feet into the air in a Massachusetts cabbage field. People called him crazy. The New York Times printed an editorial mocking him, saying rockets could never work in a vacuum. They issued a correction in 1969, the day after Apollo 11 launched. Then came the Cold War. And suddenly, going to space wasn't just a dream, it was a weapon, a political tool, a statement. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, a metal ball the size of a beach ball, and the entire world held its breath. If they could put that in orbit, what else could they put up there? The fear was real. And fear, it turns out, is an extraordinary motivator. Within 12 years of Sputnik, humans were standing on the moon. 12 years. Think about that. From we can barely build a rocket to Neil Armstrong saying one small step for man in just 12 years. Fear made us do the impossible. And then we stopped. After Apollo 17 in 1972, no human has been beyond low Earth orbit. That's over 50 years. 50 years since humans last stood on another world. The Cold War ended, the political urgency vanished, and without that pressure, without that fear, the funding dried up. NASA's budget in 1966 was 4.4% of the entire U.S. federal budget. Today it's less than 0.5%. We literally went to the moon, looked at what we'd done, and said, all right, that's probably enough. The psychological toll of that retreat is hard to measure. A whole generation of engineers and dreamers who trained their entire lives and never got to fly. But something shifted. Around 2010, a strange thing happened. Billionaires started pointing rockets at the sky. SpaceX managed to land an orbital rocket, something NASA's own engineers called near impossible. Blue Origin followed. Suddenly, the cost of launching a kilogram to orbit fell by 95% in 2 decades, and NASA launched Artemis, a program to return humans to the moon by the mid-2020s and eventually send us to Mars. This isn't the Cold War. There's no enemy to beat. This time, we're going because we want to, because we choose to, and that might be the most remarkable thing of all. Here's the thing that doesn't get said enough. We might not have a choice, not eventually. Almost every cosmologist and astronomer agrees Earth will not sustain human life forever. Whether it's a rogue asteroid, a supervolcano, runaway climate change, or just the slow death of our sun in 5 billion years staying on one planet is a single point of failure. Every egg in one basket. But there is something even more powerful than survival logic. Astronauts have a name for it. The overview effect. When you leave Earth's atmosphere, look back at this pale blue dot hanging in infinite black. Something breaks open inside you. Edgar Mitchell, Apollo 14 astronaut, described it as an instant global consciousness. You stop seeing borders, you stop seeing enemies, you just see home. And you want to protect it, desperately. Maybe going to space is what finally teaches us how to love the planet we're leaving. Carl Sagan said it best: we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Every atom in your body was forged inside a dying star. You are literally made of stardust. And maybe just, maybe going back out there isn't escape, it's recognition. It's the universe becoming aware of itself, looking in the mirror. So next time you step outside on a clear night and feel that pull, don't ignore it. That's not wanderlust. That's not restlessness. That's billions of years of evolution whispering in your ear, you were made for more than this. The stars are calling, and it's time to go home.